Welcome back to another episode of the Corporate Cowboys podcast. My name is Alex, your host. Today's proof of life. It's Monday, February 13, 2023. The start to the week, even though it starts yesterday on a Sunday. Technically, right? Well, we want to grab Monday by the neck and treat it like the little sloot that it is. These episodes obviously are for professional development. If you are stuck in corporate, looking to break into corporate, infiltrate the bitch, climb up the ladder, do it in an ethical or unethical manner, as long as you're working within the law, right? Or maybe you're working extra legally, right? Maybe you're doing the most. You're doing too much, extra legal. Like you got ordinary and there's extraordinary. You have the curricular, just the regular, and then there's extracurricular, and then you've got what's legal and you've got what's extra legal. Well, you've come to the right place. This is the Corporate Cowboys podcast, where our mission, our vision is to create more corporate cowboys, more associates that think like us, stand up guys with criminal minds. So, today's episode, this question comes from r/career guidance, and that's been pretty much the theme, the ongoing theme, the running theme for these episodes. They've been 30-minute consults, what we usually do day to day, right? Counseling, advising, consulting with clients in terms of what they can do professionally that will impact their career, that will impact their organizations. Strategies in order to make moves. Now, granted, everybody's got a plan until they get gatted in the face. Everybody has a plan until they get left with the hole in the dome. But while you've got us for free, take advantage. If you want something personalized, something one-on-one with us, by all means. We're on Instagram. That's at Corporate Cowboys with a Z. You can find us on Patreon, the Corporate Cowboys podcast. Multiple tiers to sign up. There's Q&A in some of them, and I think even some exclusive content, something personalized, if you will. You want to write to us? Little snail mail, P.O. Box 3372, Rancho Cordova, California, 95741. This person is asking, any tips for staying productive during the day while unemployed? LOL. I'm fucking with you. They didn't include the LOL, but I'm laughing. Any tips for staying productive during the day while unemployed? Staying productive. You mean to tell me that there are no rabbit holes you can go down? You mean to tell me you don't have the ADHD, ADD on the spectrum? Behaviors that will drive you, that will throw you down rabbit holes and come out the other end a learned and knowledgeable person in, I don't know, tying knots or starting fires or mixing chemicals that are under your sink to make gelatinous flammables. I'm fucking with you. Let me read the body because they are requesting advice here. They gave it one of those little flares for advice. They're requesting advice coming out of r/career guidance. So it's obvious they're thinking professionally, right? Though they are unemployed now, they're wondering what they can do to stay productive. And I'm thinking to improve their professional outlook, their career outlook. So they're asking for guidance. It says here, I've been applying to jobs like crazy, obviously. But other than that, I have hardly left my house at all. So they're on lockdown, apparently. They're on lockdown. They're just shooting applications left and right. And yet somehow, they're bored? The only time I get out during the day is to take my dog on a walk in the morning and in the evening. Well, that's good. At least you get a change of scenery while you're filling out applications. And I mean, there are various free online courses, many, multiple, mucho online courses that you could enroll in, sign up for, work on them at your own pace. So if you get bored of shooting applications out, you jump on and pick up a skill set even, because like I said, these are multiple courses. Everything from sales to business analysis to data and analytics, all of it. Statistical interpretation, all of it. It's free. It's free. I've been a huge proponent of learning all this on your time at your pace instead of going to get a bachelor's in it. That's going to require you to take 2 to 3 years of general education before they'll let you start taking classes in subjects that you're actually interested in. All right, so it says here, now I find myself falling asleep throughout the day because I'm actively trying to avoid going out so I won't spend any money right now. Damn, you sound like you have a little self-control. At least you're disciplined enough to stay indoors and not spend your money, right? Because, I don't know, that shit burns a hole in your pocket for some reason. As soon as you set foot out the door, what are you doing? You're on your phone shopping on Amazon? Outside in the real world, what are you doing inside of the house? You're not shopping? Really? You're not spending your money? So you're trying to stay home, not spend any money. I wonder what it is you do. I wonder how old you are. We don't know. We don't know where you're located, right? We don't know what your educational experience, what your background is like, what your previous experience was as far as working and career wise. So these are all questions that we would ask upon intake. We would ask the client in order to better inform our opinion. I say this every time. I give you guys the secret to success, the secret to my success, the secret to me helping you find success in your life. If I treated you as a client, it would be largely conversational, right? But along the way, we would be combing through your life professionally to find what moves you have made that are detrimental to it, what moves you have made that are beneficial to it. So it says here, and for some reason, I'm totally exhausted, even though I'm not really doing anything besides applying to jobs and interviewing. I don't even have motivation to go to the gym like I normally do. And I feel like my schedule is all out of whack because I've been sleeping in and eating meals at weird times. It's not weird. I think if at any point in life you are, quote, finding yourself, it's not when you're in college fucking around. It's at times like this when you find what you're actually interested in, what you should be digging deeper on. There was a time in my life. Nowadays I'm busy as fuck, but there was a time in my life when even when I was working, even when I had a job, I was bored, right? So I would go to work. I had actually two jobs. I had one full time, one part time. I didn't have a car. I told you I had a previous history, criminal, if you will. So I didn't have a car, right? I was getting around on foot, on bicycle, running from one job to the other, to my pad, to lay down, sleep a couple hours, nap a couple hours, get up, next job, next shift, whatever I was picking up that day. And even then, when I was bored, you know what I did? I found myself at the library. Unironically, I found myself at the library picking up books like how to win friends and influence people, Before I must have picked it up. I'm in subconsciously. I must have heard about the book, never knew about it. And it wasn't until I touched that book, I grabbed it, I read it, that I saw how important that book was to every go-getter, to every hustler, right? If you're listening to this podcast this late in the game, I, I mean by season 7, episode 20, what is this, 21? If you're listening to this podcast this late in the game, there's moments in time when you don't realize how important something is that you are doing or how unimportant something is that you're doing until you look back after having experienced it, after having gone through it. And that's essentially what I did. I did, pick up some other nonfiction material on there was a book that had a crow. I think it was a crow or a raven on the front page, on the cover. Had a blue background. I remember it almost vividly, almost, because it's been some time. It's been almost 10 years more, I think. And in that time, I've learned a lot about myself as a human, as a professional, as a consummate professional, always aspiring to be better, right? The book was called Becoming Human. I don't know, look it up, Google it. It was a good read to me, at least. There are a couple of slow parts, but I want to say it was about as dry as How to Influence People and Win Friends, or How to Win Friends and Influence People, but slightly more spiritual, right? But this is material that has to interest you. So even if it is dry, you're soaking it in. Why? Because you're hungry. You're hungry for the shit. You're starving. You're licking your chops, licking your teeth, trying to get this knowledge. So even if How to Influence People, How to Win Friends and Influence People, even if that book isn't dramatic, isn't juicy, you still pull knowledge from it. Read a fucking book. You over here falling asleep? Man. I mean, I would dislike to be in the position that you're in. I would hate to be in the position that you're in because that sucks. But at the same time, that's a luxury you have. A luxury to just sleep in, wake up whenever the fuck you want, send out another application, schedule another interview. I mean, you make it sound easy. I'm just shooting applications and interviewing. That shit sounds easy. Sleeping in, waking up at weird times and eating meals at weird times. I've done it. I've eaten dinner at like midnight. I've gone to the gym after. But it's what you do with that time in between. How you are bettering yourself, how you are building yourself, how you are shaping yourself, how you are sharpening yourself. Everybody's got some steel. Everybody has some steel. You go into the world with this steel, and the world will literally test your mettle. We'll see how much steel you got, whether or not your steel is worth it, is worthy. Life is the crucible. You are the steel, right? Some folks come out the other end after being processed and polished up. They're a working pistol. They're a fucking gun. A son of a gun, right? I'm just ranting. I'm going off. Maybe I'm reflecting. I'm not sticking to the body on this one too much. I should, though. I should. And other folks, they come away from it all dull and rounded out. But hey, everybody's got a place. Everybody's got a position in life to play. Everybody has a role to fill. So it says here, I don't even know. So I don't even have motivation to go to the gym like I normally do. And I feel like my schedule is all out of whack because I've been sleeping in and eating meals at weird times. Dog, go to the gym. And if you can't go to the gym because, again, the gym costs money and you don't have an income right now, cancel the membership. Work out at home. You have you have a place to live and sleep and you're not worried about keeping it. I mean, that's a little worrisome to me. But who knows? Maybe this person lives at home. We don't know that. Again, these are all questions we would ask at intake. Obviously, we're not judging them right off the bat. Like, God damn, you live with your parents and you're sleeping in, right? No, it's it's different. With every case, it's different. We need to know the circumstances and the facts because they might have different opportunities available to them that they could exercise, different options to exercise, and roads to take, pathways to take to success. Everybody has different circumstances that they come from. So it says, I'm used to being able to afford to eat out every day for lunch and dinner, and I feel like I haven't been eating very healthy as of recent, having to now cook for myself. What the fuck are they eating? Ramen? Is that why they're not healthy? They're just eating ramen? It says any advice on getting my life back on track would be appreciated. Exclamation point. Any life any advice on getting my life back on track would be appreciated. I feel so lazy and unproductive. I don't even know why I'm so tired. It's called depression. But it's called being depressed. It's not depression. The shit isn't clinical, right? You're at least getting out, walking your dogs, you're shooting out applications, you're taking naps. That's not entirely bad, but it doesn't sound clinical like you need to be on something. But again, we don't know. Maybe they already are. This would be something that we would ask on intake. All right. It says any advice because they feel lazy and unproductive. I don't even know why I'm so tired. Yeah, it's just you're bored. You're going. It's your body telling you that you're depressed because you don't have a job. You're not being productive. It's good that you recognize it. It's good that you're cognizant of the fact that you want to change it. You want to turn it around by getting a job. But at the same time, even if you're not getting paid to sit around, you can be rewarded by what you do while you are sitting around. So this time doesn't have to just be you being bored and taking naps and just wasting time, burning daylight. You could be reading a book, you could be painting, you could be exercising, which you are not doing apparently, and that is a huge component. In addition to your diet and nutritional intake, right? In addition to that, but exercise is a huge key component to releasing endorphins and dopamine that will balance you out. Like, why do you feel so tired? Yeah, why do you feel so tired? You haven't been to the gym at all. You haven't expended large amounts of energy moving weight. Why the fuck are you tired? It's because it's your body telling you that you are dragging it through this time in your life, through this point in your life, and not being productive, not using it wisely. So your body is shutting you down. Your body, to some extent, I might say your spirit knows, but your body knows. Your body knows if you aren't using it, you either use it or lose it, right? It'll start shutting itself down. That's what happens to individuals with sedentary lifestyles. I could tell you stories of when I was in law school. 10, 12 hours in front of a computer or at a desk, sitting down, not moving. What do you think that does to a body? Granted, that was very early on in my law school career. And by my second year, my third year, I was back in action. I was doing it moving. You couldn't keep up with me. So it says, I used to I'm used to being able to afford to eat out every day for lunch and dinner. Okay, well, I mean, now you gotta learn how to cook. There's something. Learn how to fucking cook. You don't know how to cook nutritious meals? Again, there's free courses and free recipes everywhere, fucking everywhere online. You don't know what to shop for? There's lists, free lists online to plan your own meals for free. You don't even have to pay a nutritionist, a dietitian. None of that. It's all free. It's as if it was a service tailored to you and what you want to do. You want to put on weight, you want to put on muscle, you want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. It's all online and it's free. Again, it just requires you know what questions to ask when you're on whatever search engine you're using, right? DuckDuckGo or Google or whatever the fuck. But yeah, it says any advice on getting their life back in order? Ba, 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 ba. Could it be because it says I don't even know why I'm so tired. It could be because I've been at a really toxic job the past couple years and just recently was terminated, so I've had a lot of built up stress? Question mark. I mean that's possible. That's possible, but that typically goes away like in the first week. In the first week of just napping, right? In the first week of napping and sleeping in, that's gone. That's done for. If you're on like week 2 and going into like a month of doing this shit, that's a cycle. That's a routine that you picked up of just living a wacky, silly life, a boring, unproductive life. That's you fucking up. That's you fucking up your bag by not being professional, even though you are not employed. That's a huge misconception. It's like folks don't think they can be a professional if they're not contracted, if they're not on a contract, if they're not actively employed. What, you can't be a professional? You can be a professional all the time. You must be. I think that's the point of being a consummate professional, is not fumbling ever. Granted, we can't all be perfect. We can't all be we can't all be Christ, but you can be Christ-like, right? That's the point of religion in general. Additionally, it says after their toxic job here, it says, I don't know, but I hate this feeling. Also, I'm bored out of my mind. Yeah. Oh shit! I called it. I called it. Right? What are you bored? When I was bored, I found myself at the library. I couldn't have told you. I think it was something epiphanic. That's a that's like a miracle, like an epiphany. It was an epiphany. I found myself at the library just one day, riding through downtown of whatever city I lived in. Right? I'm going to and from work, and I'd always cross downtown in my bicycle or walking to and from my pad or my second job, my third job. I fucking forget how many jobs I had. Jeez, I was running around everywhere. They were legit jobs. They were they were gainful employment. Don't get it twisted. I'd already by this point I'd already left whatever street life I had behind. So I'd found myself just out of the blue, like as if I were curious, as if I'd seen, as if it were my first time seeing a library. I walk in, I sign up for a library card. You should have seen me. I think it was some nominal fee, like $1 or $5. It was less than 10, I think. It was like $1, right? Because most libraries are nonprofit, so they just run on like grants and merch and book fees, late fees, if that, because a lot of them are so chill, they'll just write them off for you at the end of the year if you return your books. Unless you let that shit rack up and then they just charge you for a whole ass book, which I think at one point I think I just did that. I bought a book from them, or I just let them rack up a charge on a book that I had. Um, a really good book. I believe it was uh, who wrote it? Was it Dante? I think it was a book by Dante. I think it was Paradise Lost or Dante's Inferno, something like that. I forget who wrote it, and I forget what the title was, but I think it was those. Uh, though this person says and they write that they hate feeling this way, at least they recognize it. At least they're cognizant of it. I think if you try hard enough, if I try hard enough, I think I could kick this person in the ass. I could light a firework up under their fucking ass to go pick up a book, at least. To go dive into a rabbit hole, like I said earlier, on some fine dining recipes. Okay, maybe not fine dining, but more nutritious recipes. A nutritious kitchen recipe book or a video series of cooking. How to cook better, how to care for yourself better, right? Even if you're not going to become an all-out prepper of sorts, right? You don't even have a fucking income. Well, what the fuck are you going to prep with? You can at least learn to take better care of yourself given the condition that you're in now, given your circumstances now. Unemployed? Okay. Living with parents? All right. Living with somebody else and maybe they have an income coming in? Maybe their income is helping support you? Okay. All of all of this is available online and it's free, right? What I can do is provide just perspective, provide perspective at a corporate level as a corporate cowboy, something that artificial intelligence can't do yet, maybe won't be able to do, and maybe it might be programmed not to. So I just became more valuable. Being a corporate cowboy is valuable. And that's not to denigrate artificial intelligence in the slightest. But you having artificial intelligence at your disposal, and if not artificial intelligence, having just the internet in its entirety, you could troll across the whole thing, searching and gathering information and downloading and saving. You could have a recipe book by tomorrow. Not even that. Within 2 hours, you could have you could have breakfast, lunch, dinner planned out for the week. And maybe in a day, you could plan it out for a month, including shopping lists. That's It's amazing. It's amazing what you could do when you really apply yourself. You could find yourself shopping, right? Like I found myself in the library. You might think, and I mean at this point, maybe I hope, maybe I pray that because of your nutrition, because of your schedule, because of your programming, you find yourself in your supermarket one day and you're looking at, I don't know, raw chicken breast, and somebody else had walked by and threw something off their cart that they didn't want. I don't know, like a bag of carrots or something. And it clicks for you right there. Why the fuck don't I eat chicken and carrots? What can I make with it? And you buy it, you pick it up, and you look it up. You search it out on Google, on Bing, on DuckDuckGo. What can I cook with chicken breast and carrots? I mean, I hope you bought more than just that because you're gonna need more. Most recipes call for more than just chicken and carrots, but it's a good start. You're gonna need seasoning. You're gonna need oil. You're gonna need pots and pans. But all that goes into the equation. All that goes into informing a good opinion given your circumstances. But a start is a start. You're already, it sounds, right? And the reason I'm not digging too deep into your professional life, this is more so personal advice on your personal life, is because that's where I saw the most significant issue, the most salient issue in your life. And it's a lack of programming, a lack of routine, a lack of order, if you will, which is what everybody needs, at least in their lives. It's not an order that I can impose on your life. It's an order that you keep, that you ought to keep in your own life. And it starts by caring for yourself and building from there. Well, I'm going to leave you to it. I'll catch you next time. Take care.